Do these things annoy you, by the way? So, the US women's team won the World Cup yesterday, which is fantastic news. Everybody here was very happy. And I want to talk about this because there are some interesting English idioms related to this event. So, I'm going to talk about what happened in the game and share some idioms like jump on the bandwagon, which is a very popular idiom here in America and in the UK too. Now, I want to start with the headline from the New York Times, which says, US wins record 4th World Cup title. So we are using wins, the present simple. And this is common when it comes to newspaper headlines. They tend to use the present simple to talk about an event, something that has happened. Now, when you go down the article, after seeing that lovely picture, things then go into the past simple. For example, Megan Rapinoe and Rose Lavelle scored second half goals for the United States. Now, I also want to just talk about this quote here, and I'll highlight it if I can. It's surreal, said Rapinoe, who was named the tournament's outstanding player. I don't know how to feel. It's ridiculous. So it's surreal, which just means it doesn't feel real. If something is surreal, it just doesn't feel real. So if you win the lottery, you can say, it's really surreal. I just don't know what's going on. It's surreal. So I watched the game. I watched the first half at a bar and the second half at a friend's house. And the US dominated the game. They controlled the game. And it was only a matter of time before they scored the first goal. It was only a matter of time before they scored the first goal, which means that it was obvious that they were going to score. You could tell that that was going to happen. And it was only a matter of time. So I was watching the game and it was about 30 minutes in. And I thought, okay, they're going to score maybe this half, maybe in the second half, maybe late, but it was only a matter of time before they scored. Another example is you could say about a friend who works at a job and he always messes around. You can say, it's only a matter of time before he is sacked. It's only a matter of time before he is sacked because he's doing things that are going to get him the sack. Now, I'm not a big women's soccer fan. I don't watch many games, but when it came to the semi-finals, I jumped on the bandwagon. And this means to start taking an interest or to get into something that is popular. And a lot of my friends jumped on the bandwagon too. I know a lot of my friends who watched the Women's World Cup, especially the quarterfinals, the semi-finals and the final. They aren't really into soccer and they're not into women's soccer. But because it was so popular and everybody was enjoying it, we all just jumped on the bandwagon and got into it. It was fun. I enjoyed it, except for the semi-final. Because I was born in England, I'm an England fan, I live in America, and the US beat England in the semi-final. But I soon got over it, which means I soon recovered from the disappointment. To get over something means to recover. For example, you can get over a cold. I need to get over this cold soon. I really want to get over this cold. I really want to. See the lesson up here, if you're on YouTube, that goes through relaxed pronunciation. I really want to. So to get over something, I soon got over the disappointment of England losing another semi-final. And then I immediately said, all right, this is easy for me now. I'm going to support the USA. And I was supporting the USA in every other game. And then when it came to the final, I really wanted them to win. I was into it. I wanted the USA to win. Another example, I just thought about this, of jumping on the bandwagon, was when I think it must have been 15 years ago. And it was the Winter Olympics. And no one, I say no one, the Winter Olympics isn't popular in the UK because we're not very good at winter sports. We don't have the environment to practice winter sports. So people don't tend to be very interested in it. But there was one year when the women's curling team got to the final. And I definitely jumped on the bandwagon then. I stayed up till maybe 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. watching them compete in the curling final. I don't think I had ever watched curling before, but everybody was into it, and I thought, why not get into it too? I think they lost. The US isn't really known for its soccer prowess. Having said that, the women's team have done very well. They might be the most successful women's team in the history of the Women's World Cup. And part of that is because it's a really popular sport for people at school here. So everybody at school seems to play soccer. In fact, I was coaching a youth soccer team here. They were under 6. It was fun. But there are so many girls who play as well. So it's a girls' sport as well as a boys' sport. Whereas I think in certain European countries, it's mainly played by boys growing up. So that is one of the reasons why the US soccer team has been so successful in the women's game. Soccer as a whole is becoming much more popular in the US. It's great for me because I live here and I love soccer. And yeah, and I think this victory is just going to help it grow even more. Do these things annoy you, by the way? I've just looked at my screen and they annoy me a little bit. But maybe I'll have to cover them in the next video. Anyway, if you are new here, then please subscribe and leave a comment below and tell me about a time when you jumped on the bandwagon. So tell me about a sporting event. It could be a political campaign or anything really when you jumped on the bandwagon. And this can sometimes be seen as a negative thing, like, oh, you're just jumping on the bandwagon. But I don't care. I love it. I like being part of something where everybody is also into it. And this Women's World Cup was one of those moments when it came to the semi-final and the final, at least. So, yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it and the US won. So, I'm happy. All right. If you've enjoyed this video, then please like and share it. And leave me a comment and tell me when you jumped on the bandwagon or the last time you jumped on the bandwagon. All right. Thank you very much for watching. Speak to you soon. Bye-bye.